college at Iowa State University. I guess that was a normal reaction. Both my mother and father were Iowa Staters. I kept looking through the catalogs at Iowa State, trying to figure out something I could take that I could live with. I didn't really want to be out in a field someplace doing research work. That did not have much appeal, but I kept thumbing through that catalog and finally decided that, well, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad deal, worth trying at least. After when I graduated from Iowa State, immediately I went to work at a couple of radio stations in Iowa. The most specific one was KCIM down at Carroll, Iowa. See, this is all within the backdrop of the Korean War was going on, and all this while I was living under the shades of the draft. And eventually, after about 6 months, and I was just delighted to have even that much, Army drafted me, and off I went to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, I got out of basic training, and I hung around for maybe a couple of weeks there. I finally went into Sergeant Major one day and I said, "Have you got a lawnmower or something around here that I can just, something I can do?" They weren't used to having people coming in volunteering to mow their lawns. He started calling around, and within short order I was sent over to depot headquarters. They sent me to the public information office. I was writing a little bit of everything. I started in writing stuff that we could send out to get the guys a little publicity for the troops, and kept on adding to it. Got tapped to, got a call from the stockyards, and they were looking for somebody. They usually had about 2 people on radio, with radio and television leanings, to do market reporting from there. Webb was a very good place to work. I traveled a whale of a lot. When I first went with Beef Magazine with Paul, we were a little more Midwestern. That was just at the time where the big lots in the South were coming along, and we had a tremendous run there. And then had the chance to make the switch over to National Hog Farmer. All the while I was with it, it was a monthly publication. Hog Farmer was really the kingpin. The ag people were all taking breaks about the same time. The farmer took their breaks about the same time that we did, and we got a lot of information passed back and forth. We had less of that interchange later on when everybody was working for different magazines. You know, one time we had a whale of a lot of magazines. I had been interested in photography, and we got that out of the Missouri workshops. A fellow by the name of Agnes McDougall that was at Missouri at that time. He was on faculty teaching real journalism, real photojournalism. And we worked hard at this. And then after about 2 or 3 years of that, we kind of had that going pretty good. And as a matter of fact, I was spending more time being a photojournalist than I was a journalist. Oh yes, Paul and I were both pretty adamant that we needed things like that to keep us on top of the game. And I think those communications clinics were the thing that we attended very, very righteously. They were the key part of the whole thing for me. We were traveling all over the country. I spent a lot of time for example, in Washington. More so than most of these other ag magazines. They would get a few editors into Washington once a year or something of the sort. A lot of the time we were going on a pretty steady basis. But a lot of our work was just like Washington reporters. We sat on the same chairs and when we had a chance, we asked the same questions. And yeah, someplace around here, I don't remember, I got a picture of me and President Carter shaking hands. I got a chance at, I'm going to say, about 3 trips to Europe. For me personally, with my interest and whatnot, one of the most gratifying things were the way that we got the photography on track. And that was a long time after we got that somewhat on track before a lot of other magazines went that far. We were covering stories and writing them for our specific readers. And that makes a lot of difference. We work pretty hard at trying to get good farmers and get good reports, and we could get them. We went out and found subjects and covered them up in A, and it was pretty simple kind of journalism. If you can get a look at a copy of Farmer magazine, it was a different breed of cats than we were putting out. I had the freedom to go out and look up stories. I think we did. We had a lot more freedom.